What's up, everyone? This is the very first episode of our new podcast series, and I had the pleasure of talking with Alex Ketchem. We got to catch up at the West Coast Card Show, and we talked all things hobby, social media creation, and so much more. So let's get into it. We made it. We're here at West Coast, and I'm here with Alex, otherwise known as Alex Ketchem on Instagram and all platforms. But in case people haven't heard of you, give us a little rundown, you and what you do.
Yeah, basically hobbyist collector turned creator, which I think is a really cool flow, for things, because there's a lot of upward mobility in this style of content now where there wasn't before, and I think a lot of creators are getting into collecting as like a result of that upward mobility, getting views and growing a platform. But coming into this organically as a guy that just loved opening Pokemon packs it's been one of the greatest pleasures and surprises of my life to see what's happened to the space over the past, 8-9 years.
For sure. And this is so fun for me because organically, just like aside from me being content creator for Ribbon Cards, your stuff has shown up on my personal feed all the time. And so it's just so fun that had happened and now being able to talk to you. But I know you talked about that organic growth. Like how did that start happening? Like, was there a pivotal moment for you?
Yeah, sure. You get locked down and everyone's got so much more free time on their hands, and being a creative that works in advertising, I had idle hands, and it was like, I'm collecting all the time now. Why don't I just kind of flex that muscle by talking about how I collect? Because in 2020 and in 2019, so many folks had questions about how to protect cards, how to sleeve stuff, what binder should I use? And I found TikTok was this perfect outlet where I could kind of convey all the high-level stuff that I was thinking about to an audience that was really curious for it. And that's obviously kind of expanded since then and become more elaborate over the past 5-6 years into what it is now, which has been, again, like the greatest surprise of my life.
Absolutely, and I feel like I hear you say that a lot in videos and on your stories, like, I'm so grateful for whatever is like happening right now because the boom and the growth is wild, and you kind of had that mantra, like, upload every day, count uploads, not likes. Like, how did you figure that out? How did that come to be?
Content creators can be really results-oriented people, and it's not cool to talk about it. It's not cool to talk about the disappointment that you feel if you have stuff you created that's going wrong. And what I had to do, because I was internalizing a lot of that frustration with my own videos not performing to a certain level, was realizing that the act of creating was in itself the win.
Yeah.
Because when you practice creating videos every day, you get better at creating videos.
Yeah.
People wouldn't join a baseball team and think, you know what, I didn't hit a grand slam my first year, I gotta quit, this isn't meant for me. And so many content creators think this way. They think like, I haven't posted a 1 million view video, so I don't deserve to be making videos, this just isn't meant for me. And it's like, no, you're just not where you need to be at skill set wise. And that's where I kind of had a revelation at the lowest of the lows. I need to work harder to get the results I want, to build the community I want. And sure enough, that theory was correct. And now I'm just living in a weird alternate reality.
It's so awesome. And I know you say all the time, like, how grateful you are, and this is amazing. Like, if we zoom out, like, you in the past, like, did you ever want to be a Pokemon influencer? Was that ever kind of
Never.
the goal? Yeah.
No, and it's funny because I've always been working in creative at my ad agency, was developing ad campaigns and setting up content calendars, like figuring out a through line from their products to the consumers at the other end of social media, because unlike traditional media like print ads, TV ads, you didn't get real-time feedback about how people felt about what you were saying.
Yep.
Brands were getting graded in a way they'd never been graded before. And so spending, since 2008 until I'd say about even now, kind of doing this work was a great foundation for building the muscle that I use all the time for my own content.
That's so cool. And you still have a full-time job right now, right, on top of it?
Yeah, it's our ad agency.
Okay, that's amazing. So on top of the content creation, like, how have you managed to balance the two?
It's optimizing your time when you create content by creating stuff you can fit into your schedule.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to overthink the creative, and Gary Vee actually said something years ago that was super informative for me. He said, don't create, document. And what that means is, what are you already doing, and how do you convey it in a fun, meaningful, or interesting way to people on the internet that they might get inspired, encouraged, or learn from it? And that's where my philosophy kind of took root, and then I just built upon that.
It's amazing.
And also just more pragmatic, I guess you could say. Wake up earlier, go to bed later.
That's fair. And you also have like a son, like a young child,
Yes.
so like all of these things, yeah. It's really about time management, but I get that it could get hard, 100%. And you're here. You were just at Pokemon Worlds last week.
Yeah.
And you're at Collectors Expo next week, is that correct?
Yeah, so we've been at the Anaheim Convention Center.
Just living.
I actually have a suite above the roof now that I stay at regularly. No,
Camp out.
3
Like-
weeks in a row. And let me tell you, Anaheim Convention Center is my favorite convention center in Southern California. Logistically, it's the easiest one to get into.
Yeah.
We have world-class entertainment like Disneyland and California
Huge.
Adventure. So many wonderful restaurants just around here.
Yeah.
It's the perfect place to network once you leave here. So
Yes.
even when the show's over, you've got so many options for steakhouses,
Oh, yeah.
theaters, bowling areas, downtown Disney. That makes this one of my favorite shows to come to.
There's so much to do, right? Because sometimes you end up in a convention center, middle of nowhere, you're like, now what? Yeah.
Scared to walk to your car
Seriously.
because you've got a lot of collectibles in your Pelican case. You got cash, and you're in a part of town that like you do have to look over your shoulder a little bit.
Absolutely, no. So now that you're doing these shows regularly, like, do you remember your first show and the feelings that you had going into that?
Yeah, so for my, I want to say 30th, well, we got Frankensons back in 2011. That would have been my introductory experience to a place that had vendors kind of all around. And the old school Frankensons, there was no AC. This is a place in City of Industry, California, for
I've
anybody
been
who's
to the new one.
familiar with Frankenson.
Yeah.
But first actual show would have been Anime Burbank, I think it was, like 2016 or 2017. My wife surprised me with tickets. They had vendors, and I saw the Pokemon cards there, and I was surprised because it was an anime show.
Right.
And, you know, that spoke to me in multiple ways. We had anime, we had Pokemon, and I was just in heaven, and I got really bit by the bug at that time.
Oh, 100. Yeah, once you start to not, it just goes deeper and deeper.
Well, you walk into these buildings, you go, there's so many people like me. And with hobbies like ours that are so information dense, you're not guaranteed to have friends from high school that you've known your whole life to just be like, oh yeah, I completely agree the Albedo SEC from White Schwartz is a really valid chase card to want and to spend thousands on in a black label. It's such like,
It's so niche.
we're in
Yeah.
our own weird little universe, and it's fun to expand it when you're at shows like this.
Absolutely. That's so cool. And like, I know you mentioned being into Pokemon when you were younger. Like, how did that really start for you?
I mean, I was a part of that initial 1999 boom.
Nice.
You could go to 7-Elevens or card shops next to my sister's dance studio. You'd be opening baseball packs, and then one day there's a base set box there.
Right.
And you say, wait a minute, maybe I'm not going to chase the Tim Salmon bad card today.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for whatever this Charizard thing is.
Totally.
Sister yoinks a Blastoise Hollow from her first pack, didn't even know what it was, and I will never be more jealous of any human being than I was at that time.
Please tell me she kept it. Like, you got appreciate and value.
Best story ever. She was like 8 years old, and we were at a park at soccer games, and she sells it. She comes back home at 8 years old in the 90s with $45, which the buying power of 45 back then was like $500.
Not bad, yeah.
My dad's just like, why does my 8-year-old daughter have 40? What was she up to in the
was she
park?
doing?
Why are people paying her adult money in the park right now? What is going?
That's wild.
$25 back then was like a trip to the grocery store.
For sure.
So, yeah. I'll never forget my dad's reaction, being like, "Why do you have money?
What is going? Who gave that to you? What's happening?
What did you?"
Suspicious. No, that's so funny. And I know you also like collect comics on top of Pokemon cards too. So was that the same thing for you? Just kind of late 90s, was into it?
I mean, that's the thing about that era. There wasn't this oversaturation of media that the internet has given us, right? We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have dedicated website pages to Sonic lore.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to consume, any Sonic stuff, for example, huge Sonic fan, you would have to read the Archie comics, The Adventures of Sonic.
Right.
That was how you got caught up on the lore of Sonic at that time, or you would have to catch the TV shows.
Right.
Saturday mornings or every morning, depending on what show you were trying to watch back then.
Totally. I never thought of it that way. Like, you really had to dive deep in. You couldn't just get the ChatGPT little summary. No, you really had to get into it.
Yeah, you would sit on the ground of Borders Books back then, R.I.P. Borders Books. Actually, the first place I ever played a Pokemon tournament was in 1999 at a Borders Books.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable memory.
Unreal.
But yeah, if you wanted to read more about something you loved back then, you had to go to a bookstore, find those comics at a hobby shop, or you had to be lucky and be next to a TV when it came on.
Seriously?
No instant access. It was a really rarefied time in hindsight.
Iowa. And I saw you had that insane story about that one Sonic comic grading in a 10. I feel like it's definitely worth talking about because it was so fascinating to me.
1993 premiere issue, Sonic number literally 0. It's not even 1, it's just number 0.
That's crazy.
And I'm at a shop, a mom and pop in Norco, California called Affordable Cards and Comics, run by a father and his son that always gave me the best deals when I came in to buy comics over the past decade. And I asked them one day, I said, hey, I just remembered Archie Comics was running and I lost all the copies that I had. Do you have any? Sure enough, they bring me all 4 of the premiere issues of Archie. And I just went, A, why are these still sealed?
Yeah.
Because comics are volume business. It's not like cards where it's like, hey, keep this near mint.
Yeah.
Comics, it's all about wheel and deal. Get this out of my store, give me MSRP and we're good. My margin is nothing. And he sold me that stuff maybe 5-6 years ago. And they kept it in such pristine condition, 3 decades of wear. And it's the first ever to receive a 10 score in the world, period. And it was just like one of the most full circle days of my life. That comic book made it through 3 or 4 different moves. And we somehow, after getting it from them, had kept it in that condition. And I'm just so grateful for it.
That is, I can't even comprehend. Stayed pristine. It was just meant to be. Something about it. But
the amount of offers I got after the post too.
Bet. You're like, I'm not selling it.
You could offer me any amount of money. You could even offer to trade me a 10 that you rated plus money, and I still wouldn't take it because this is the one from Affordable Cards and Comics in Norco. I actually have a video where I'm going to reveal it to them.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
I'm so excited about it.
What a full circle moment.
Crazy.
That is so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So you grew up in those hobby shops and comic stores, and you also mentioned that you play the Pokemon actual TCG. Are you out there in tournaments these days?
So with the daily content, something did have to give.
For sure.
My tournament appearances have gone from multiple times per week,
wow.
going to regionals, scoping in championships in multiple games too, not just Pokemon.
Yeah.
I get to go, I think I've clocked 4 tournaments this whole year.
Yeah.
And that is part of, if you're a dad, if you work full time, and here's the dirty secret about content creation, we all have to work full time.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Because a lot of people want to pretend that I'm a full-time content creator now. How are you paying your bills?
Seriously.
And I think more people need to talk about the fact that we all work full time and then make that content.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, about the Pokemon tournaments, that's the thing that had to take a hit. If I want to see my son and wife,
yes.
If I want to go to Wood Ranch and get my ribs,
yes.
and see my son while he eats macaroni and cheese and talk to him about his day, it's tournaments that had to go.
100%. Yeah. That's understandable because that's a whole other factor. It's a whole other event when you're already doing this type of thing. So that makes sense. But we're at Pokemon Worlds. How was that experience? It looked really fun.
Pokemon Worlds, I keep telling people, it was like nerd prom.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone that I follow from the most high-level niche topics, whether it be the video games, the cards, random magazines that you forgot existed, show lore, that would be quite controversial if we talked about it now, but it was the 90s, so no one cared.
True.
Just all of my favorite people in one building talking about this one thing that we all love, and then realizing that we all have other things in common. And it's just like this great, it was also my birthday, so it was
my gosh.
4 days of interesting conversations, seeing Pokemon's legacy balloon in ways that made 2020 feel like 2016.
Forever ago.
I have no idea what's going on with Pokemon right now, but they truly are the unprecedented unicorn company in any industry I've never seen anything like this.
Seriously, and even the modern, like, it's just in so many ways exploding. I'm confused, like, but we're rolling with it. We're rolling with it.
It just be even beyond. I don't know if you saw the stadium that the championship was played on.
Yeah.
The digital stadium that had, augmented reality built into the floor. We're talking about stuff that we would have thought was like only possible in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime 25 years ago. They're implementing
Real life.
and they're teasing it going even bigger next year in San Francisco.
Huge. Absolutely huge.
That for me is seeing like Pokemon, the actual game itself, being elevated one day, maybe 3-4 years to you're a respected human being in society if you placed well in that tournament. What is chess? It's a game some dudes made up,
Exactly.
but you add hundreds of years of time, right? Pokemon is a game people made up. They're adding IP, lore, and all these routes of discovery.
Yeah.
And now we're going to make the game respectable because, frankly, people pay $250,000 for a first place trophy now. Okay,
Yeah.
So now we have the prestige. I don't know. I think the Pokemon card game itself, not even just secondary market, I'm so bullish on it.
No, it's I don't understand really how the actual TCG game works, and I'm seeing all these new things come out, Mega Evolutions, SIRs. How do, this playing into the actual game, it seems like it would be very confusing and like maybe even frustrating to have all these new elements come in all the time.
It's really cool because it's accessible enough to where anyone could pick it up. You and I could have it down pat in an hour.
For sure.
That said, there is a skill ceiling that is going to reward, people that are making the correct plays. There's maybe millions of lines you can take depending on your matchup and how you play the game. And that is why the top players continue to top.
Yep.
Whether it be the video game or the card game itself, it does reward skill expression.
Yeah.
And I think they found the perfect balance of a game anyone can learn, but not a game everyone can master.
The skill ceiling. Yeah, it's very true. And now we have TCG Pocket, and there's just, you're like, don't even get me started. It's too much, but
amazing.
It's so fun at the same time. And that opened a ton of accessibility to just anyone. Rip a pack on your phone. It's so easy. So I'm also just amazed. And even being here, half of our vendors are TCG vendors at this show. Which, who would have ever thought, especially knowing my dad's a co-owner. It's really funny to me.
It's something that, and not to get preachy here, because I myself, on a lot of things, still love how things used to be when the card games were more niche. Think about how much cross-pollination and sports discovery is occurring because people came here for Pokemon, and all of a sudden they see a Shohei Ohtani rookie and they go, wait a minute, I never even thought that I could collect Ohtanis or Freddie Freemans. Because a lot of sports guys don't realize Gen Alpha isn't on the ball like that. They are getting discovered in sports cards through these events, but they're driven here by the card games.
Exactly.
My first big sports card purchases happened after I started collecting Pokemon.
Interesting. So I was going to ask you if you're into sports card collecting as
100%.
well. Yeah,
and honestly, I just love ripping boxes too.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
I pulled a serial Joe Burrow and I was just like,
yes!
I get more lucky pulling QBs than I do
That's
Pokemon
really funny.
cards. Yeah.
Oh my God. And I mean, we have to talk about the Lovebirds chase as well. You're like, no, please. Alex has been chasing the Lovebirds. How many packs are we at now? I think it was 4.
We are just shy of 200 team-up packs.
Oh my God.
Look, in the grand scheme of things, this is my cope. This is my official policy cope on this matter. In the grand scheme of things, we have opened just over a little under 6 booster boxes. That is one case of team-up, which this was not guaranteed in a case.
Right, but statistically, maybe.
There were so many alt-arts back then in that set that you would not always get that alt-art in one case.
Yeah.
So I'm not actually doing horribly from a statistical standpoint, getting the 2 Gengar and Mimikyu.
That was huge.
But not getting my chase when so many of my friends pulled it in 1 to 4 packs.
Are you serious?
Just brutal.
It's brutal.
Yeah. Me and my buddy Deep Pocket Monster have had an ongoing feud. I'm trying to pull his chase card. He's trying to pull mine.
Yeah.
And it's now just it's ballooned past our inner circle into like a hobby-wide
like a whole thing.
Beef. It's so weird.
It has, but it keeps me engaged. I'm like, okay, it has to be this time, please.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. We'll get there.
This year,
that's the goal.
It's
We're gonna get the Lovebirds. I mean, I've seen Lovebirds for sale over here, but it's not the same. We have to pull it.
No, you have to pull it.
Yeah, that's so fair. Well, besides the Lovebirds, do you have another ultimate holy grail type of card?
So, I collect multiple card games, and I'm a huge fan of Hatsune Miku, which will surprise absolutely no one that follows my content because I'm such a weeb at the end of the day.
Love.
So, Vocaloid, Hatsune Miku, very famous in Japan, has released banger albums and has just developed this kind of cult of personality.
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering, for no reason, made a secret lair, which is a pre-constructed 6-card or 7-card letter envelope that you're shipped. And they did this insane thing where they made one bonus card of a famous card profile that was the Snapcaster Mage. They made Hatsune Miku a Snapcaster Mage. I love Snapcaster decks, and I was like,
you're like, wait a second.
You just turned Hatsune Miku into a Snapcaster?
Magic the Gathering.
A PSA 10 Hatsune Miku foil, the Rainbow Foil Edition, very difficult to grade because of the way. Hard. Very difficult to grade because of the way that secret lairs were packaged at that point in time. The last Miku I graded came back in 8, and it looked almost perfect. Right, and this is from PSA.
Yeah.
So
it's hard.
I'm on the hunt for that this year. That's like the number one. I got some other goals, but I don't want to tip too many people up.
For sure. We keep it. Keep the cards close.
I'm an open book.
Right.
Yeah, I'm an open book, not an open binder.
Not an open binder. That's buddy. We're not going to flip through the pages. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, no, with Magic the Gathering too, the SpongeBob set, everything. I'm loving how they're including more pop culture. It was cracking me up. I loved it.
And also, their crossovers, while a lot of the core collectors and players of Magic the Gathering are lamenting this, we are seeing more action in the game now at local tournaments because of Final Fantasy than we have seen in 5 years.
Yeah.
This is blowing away everything. And ultimately, like, it's what's good for the game for 10 years. You know, and I understand people want to hear about Ulamog and Emrakul and all of our Eldrazi Titans and Crawlworms and the original Magic IP.
Right.
But the truth was, this is a company that needs to last for a decade with people that don't have the same nostalgia for the IP that they do. And I think this is the perfect crossover moment for them.
100%, because it got my attention to it, and I wouldn't normally. Exactly.
Gold Serial Chocobos, I mean, are selling for $40,000.
Joking.
You know, for a non-chase number. You know, the actual chase number's a 77 of 77 gold chocobo. We're talking down payment on a home.
Oh my God.
For that.
What is going on?
It's unreal.
But that's the thing. And that's just, this show never ceases to astound me. I was told by Golden that they had like a $60,000 consignment for a Labubu. So we're just like, this is where we're at. Like, there's some really high-end stuff going on, but I'm loving it at the same time. It's the new era. We're evolving.
No, it's truly unreal.
Yeah.
You know, I have a question for you.
Ooh.
On Labubu, do you think that they scope in what happened with an IP like Beanie Babies, and they factor in our sales are X, we're distributing this wide, do we cap it a little bit so we don't oversaturate, or is it, it's a short 5-year window, we're just gonna rock this thing, sell, or do you think they go the distance? This is something I think about. What do you think?
Well, Pop Mart, I mean, whatever they're doing, it's correct. And every time I've seen Pop Mart vending machines at malls, and I go up, I don't necessarily want a Labubu that bad, but I look, I'm like, are they available though? Because if they are, maybe I would buy one. It's this weird psychology. And the same thing has happened to me with other things like Stanley Cups. Like, you see it so often that suddenly you're like, maybe I do want one, but I don't. So it's like this retail psychology. But I do think they are limiting what's coming out 100% because never find them. And there's fake ones. I bought a fake one on accident. Like, and then you're just like, well, now that I accidentally bought a fake one, I need to go get the real thing.
I gotta do a Daniel Tosh web redemption. Get the real one.
No,
that just aged me so hard.
But the way I know it too, that's really funny. Yeah,
I do wonder if they are sitting there thinking Pokemon style Pop Mart, right? do they go the distance and say, hey, this is a 30-year project. We are going to limit supply. We're not going to flood the market. We're going to be smart with the product engineering. Or if they're just like, we're making billions of dollars.
Just let it fly.
Print it.
Yeah, print it.
Run it.
Inflate it.
I don't know.
Whatever their business model is, thumbs up.
Yeah, I know. Props to Pop Mart.
Props to Pop Mart. I'm seeing, but it's opened a whole new thing of collectibles too. I'm seeing a bunch of them here. So.
And again, it's like that cross-pollination into different categories.
Absolutely.
I'm just wondering when we're going to get like an index that is just all the collectibles, not even just TCGs.
Yeah, no,
You know, you have something that's just tracking like the Labubu market is like the S&P 500.
Literally.
It has Labubu and Beanie Babies. Like there's this entire line, and then like NASDAQ is TCG. It's just, we really are getting into a place where people trade, sell, and buy so similar to stocks, bonds, funds, all that. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, no, and that's what we see, at our store a lot. We're like buying things as an investment piece. You don't have to actually invest anymore. Just hold on to it, see what happens. It's volatile, but most, works for some people. So I think it's truly fascinating, especially because this is like my first year kind of like fully diving into the hobby.
Right.
And I brought some friends this year, and they're just, it really helps my perspective because I'm kind of desensitized.
So important.
Yeah, and then you see people walk in like, what is going on? But it's fun for us. It's like a playground. But yeah. So what else do you personally collect? I know you're kind of all over the place with TCG.
Gosh.
I know.
So probably have one of the largest manga collections in the West.
Yeah.
And not just in terms of like volume, because a lot of people do that. They go, I got the largest collection of cards in the world, and it's 250,000 bulk cards.
Yeah.
My manga first print collection is really shaping up to be super world class, and I'm very proud of it because manga changed my life. It introduced me to philosophies that I wouldn't have gotten just growing up in the West. Yeah. It's so much bigger than mindless passive entertainment. And it's, people will roll their eyes when they hear that stuff, but you really do get a lot of crazy, interesting type of philosophies that get squeezed into shows like a Cowboy Bebop or any of the stuff that I grew up in. Mm-hmm. My comic collection obviously is not cards. I love collecting VHS tapes because I grew up with VHS.
Yes.
So I have one of the highest graded copies of the original Wave 1 of the Pokémon TV show. And it's one of my favorite things in my collection because I used to rent that same VHS from Blockbuster, go home, and you'd watch the same 3 episodes over and over and over. Because we didn't have the internet at this point. You could just Netflix it.
Today I learned you could grade VHS tapes.
Yes, shout out to Becca Grading.
Shout out to grading, no, because I had no idea. I guess
I'll show you after this. It's really beautiful.
I'm curious. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, like Blockbuster, all these things. Like times have changed so much. It's really whack.
R.I.P. Blockbuster.
R.I.P. Blockbuster.
Shout out to Garrett. Garrett worked at Blockbuster. I love that guy.
Hope he's doing well.
He is, 100%.
Good.
He's probably running a country club. That's what I'm going to imagine.
Yes, I'm happy for him. Yeah. I'm happy for him. But outside of all of this, I know you mentioned you're kind of strapped for time in your personal life, but what else do you like to do besides the content creation, besides the TCG tournaments, all that good stuff?
I really think that one of my biggest pastimes, and this is what's fueled all the content that's getting produced every single day, is writing.
Yeah.
I love testing my own intuitions on times and places and seeing things like the hobby through different lenses.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like through the market perspective. This is what it looks like from the gaming perspective. This is what it looks like through the historical lens.
Yeah.
And creating content every day gives me a place to not only journal, but to hear people react to my own thoughts on this and to refine my spear when it comes to how I'm thinking about things. And ultimately, if that results in long-form content that's a little less daily, a little less easy to consume, and a little more thought-provoking, that would be a good place to get to.
Yeah, love that. No, it definitely shows in your videos of just like they're very well, you don't just go off the cuff. You're planning, you're writing ahead of time, so I think that's very, very cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, and what's cool about writing every single day is you can get faster and better and your thoughts more concise as you practice it, and that's been a ton of fun.
Totally.
And that wasn't something I was thinking about in real time.
Yeah.
But if you think about it like free throws, right? If you are shooting 20 free throws a night for a year, you're going to be hitting them a lot better on year 2.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of how those scripts have been every day for my content.
Absolutely. No, that's very constantly refining, constantly keep going.
Yep.
And as a, budding content creator too, I'm definitely taking it in. So I love it.
Your content is 1,000 times more sophisticated right now than mine was when I started. So you're off to a really good start.
That's good. You got the whole setup now, and it's really awesome. Yeah. So we're learning. But yeah, I guess just some closing thoughts. Like what is next for you? Like I know you're keeping the card binder a little close to your chest, but do you have any goals that you do want to hit in the next few years?
I'm gonna get a pitch deck to the West Coast Card Show.
Yeah.
It's gonna say rename us the International. We're the International.
I like that.
We're too big.
We're in Hong Kong.
Watch this.
Yeah.
We just add the word international of the West Coast. So the international West Coast of the earth.
Right, and we never said which West
We
Coast.
didn't say which. We said we are like the new equator for card events. This is the entire West Coast of the planet.
I like
because this show is so humble in the way that it frames what it is, but there are very few shows around here. Yeah, and by around here, I mean the country, where you can get same weekend grading from Beckett Grading Service. Beckett Grading, PSA Grading, they're all looking at the show and saying, this is worth grading in real time in a way that other events are not. And it's because the people here are just real buyers, real sellers. They're not time wasters. It feels like an industry event that's open to the public.
Yeah. So
and
fun.
That's why I'm making the proposal. It's $3.99.
$3.99 international free advice.
Hobbywood is going to be the capital of the international West Coast Card Show. The equator of the hobby.
The equator of the hobby. The epicenter. We are. You say that we're the epicenter. This is huge.
Look,
this is
the
huge.
synergy is already there.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I am personally a big fan of yours, so it's always fun to get to see you and get to chat.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a lot of nerd stuff in common, so I'm just, but.
No, and that's something that I've always loved about Burbank Sports Cards is you have this family that has become a monument of the hobby in Southern California that's going from generation to generation, and your dad's the sports card guy. You guys are like the TCG, and like the fact that it's all informing and kind of accumulating into this wonderful scaling operation, that is the dream. And I love being here and I love supporting you guys.
It is so wild, and I tell my dad that all the time. You're kind of living the American dream.
Bro,
didn't even plan for it. Bro is the American dream. Didn't even plan for it. Just kind of happened to him. Worked hard, obviously, but yeah. And then, just thinking too, what advice would you have for those younger collectors and maybe perhaps business owners, card shop type of things?
With anything that you do in life, and this is coming from a place of scaling an ad agency, becoming a creator, becoming a parent, because it's basically all the same.
Yeah.
Mastery takes longer than you want it to, and a lot of people have horizon lines on their goals that are too short. You cannot fail if you don't quit.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time that are like, I've been posting for 6 months and I don't see the improvement I want. Yeah. And I remind them, it took me 4.5 years to get to where I wanted to go. And that graph of progress really snowballed towards the end because I was coming into a place of expertise.
Yes.
If I could tell anybody anything, do not quit. Keep going. Don't tell yourself I have 36 months to make this business work or I quit. No, you don't. You have your whole life to make your dream come true. Stop thinking about what it looks like to others. This toxic pragmatism of I only got so long and then I'm going to do a boring job instead if this doesn't work out. No, keep at it. Imagine if your dad quit when things got hard.
That's the thing. And it did a lot. Yeah.
And of course it got hard, especially in the years where it wasn't looking so bullish on sports cards, and that's what I would tell people. Count uploads, not likes if you're a creator.
Yeah.
Get better, practice every day. And it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yep, and never too late. Never too late.
Absolutely. If I could do this starting at 32 and take it to where it's gone by 38, anyone can do anything.
Yeah, it's really this story. Yeah, and just seeing, exponential growth with your YouTube recently hit 200K, Instagram on the way. I'm just inspired all the time.
It's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
My YouTube took 5 years to hit 100,000 subscribers. And 3 months to hit 200,000.
No kidding.
And this is what people need to understand is the longer you struggle for, the more competency you have by the time you're really answering the hard questions, because it does get harder as you get bigger.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
it's easy to lose your footing, so it helps to know the basics, and you know the basics by doing the grunt work over and over and over again.
It's true. Yeah. Always go back to the basics.
Yep.
It was true. That's an amazing stat, though. In the 3 months, you just doubled what you were at.
That's what it is. That's competency at work,
Yeah.
and not stopping.
Not stopping. Never
Yeah.
give up.
Yeah.
Never too late. All very good advice. So that I will also be taking in. Yes.
Oh, dude, you've got all the time in the world.
I know, that's what everyone tells me, but I'm like, oh, that's so good.
I got 22-year-olds in my DMs like, oh my gosh, I'm 22. What do I do? My whole life is.
I'm
my whole
washed.
life, I'm washed, bro. I'm chopped.
Like, bro, you're not.
I'm chopped and I have El Riz out. What do I do?
It's crazy.
I go, you stop saying you're chopped with El Riz, step one.
Stop believing that.
Two, stop consuming mind rot content and make your own content.
Well, that's a whole battle.
And three, touch grass.
And touch grass.
Touch grass.
Yeah. So not consuming brain rot is hard though. And touching grass sometimes. Yeah.
It's hard for me too.
It's hard. The doom scroll's real, but
yeah.
dopamine hit. It's great. It's fantastic. But yeah, keep doing what you're doing, because we all love it. We all seem to be loving it. So I think you're an awesome success story when it comes to content creation and just the advice that you give. And you're constantly giving that advice like through your stories and everything, which I think is so cool. We're not gatekeeping. We're letting people know like the keys to the success that you've had. So I think that's truly amazing.